Hi everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most devastating economic events in history, the Great Depression. It wasn't just a stock market crash, it was a global crisis that changed the way we think about economies, governments, and society. So let's break it down in a way that makes sense. First, let's rewind to 1929. The Roaring Twenties were a time of economic boom in the US, with stock prices soaring as people rushed to invest. But here's the catch. Most of that investing was done with borrowed money. Sounds risky, right? Well, it was. In October 1929, the bubble burst. The Wall Street crash, or what's often called Black Tuesday, saw billions of dollars wiped out in just one day. Panic selling spread like wildfire, and it wasn't long before businesses started collapsing and unemployment began to rise. This was the spark that set off the Great Depression. Now, this wasn't just an American problem. The U.S. had been a major lender to Europe after World War I, so when the American economy tanked, the effects rippled across the globe. Countries like Germany and Austria, already struggling with war debts, were hit hard. International trade took a nosedive too. Countries who started slapping tariffs on imports to protect their industries, but instead of helping, it made things worse. By 1933, global trade had shrunk to a third of what it had been. Imagine that. The human cost? Unbelievable. By the early 1930s, unemployment hit 25% in the US, and in some countries it was even higher. People lost their jobs, their homes, and their savings. Breadlines and soup kitchens became common sights. In rural America, farmers faced a double blow: the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, a series of devastating dust storms that destroyed crops and forced families to leave their land. And the banks? They weren't spared either. Nearly 9,000 banks in the U.S. failed during this time. Back then, there was no deposit insurance, so when a bank closed, people's life savings vanished. It's no wonder people lined up in panic to withdraw their money, making the problem even worse. So how did the world start to recover? Enter Franklin D. Roosevelt, who became U.S. President in 1933. One of his first actions was to declare a 5-day bank holiday to stop the banking system from collapsing entirely. This gave people a chance to breathe and helped restore confidence. He also launched the New Deal, a series of programs to create jobs, regulate the financial system, and get the economy moving again. Projects like building roads, bridges, and dams gave people work, while new laws like deposit insurance protected savings. But the Great Depression wasn't just about economics, it had political consequences too. In Germany, the economic turmoil fueled anger and desperation, paving the way for the rise of the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler. Across the globe, and people started questioning capitalism and whether governments should play a bigger role in managing the economy. And this is where John Maynard Keynes comes in. Keynes argued that in times of economic crisis, governments shouldn't just sit back. They should step in, spend money, and stimulate the economy. His ideas changed the way we think about economics and laid the foundation for modern policies. By the late 1930s, the world began to recover, but honestly, it wasn't until World War II that full recovery happened. The war led to massive government spending, which created jobs and boosted industrial production. Ironically, it took a global conflict to reset the economy. So what can we learn from the Great Depression? First, it showed us the importance of financial regulation. Unchecked markets can lead to disaster. Second, it highlighted the need for safety nets, like unemployment insurance and deposit protection, to help people during tough times. And finally, it reminded us that economies are interconnected. What happens in one country can ripple across the globe. The Great Depression was a hard lesson for humanity, but it shaped the way we build and protect economies today. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.